Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. Quincy Lord is here with us live in studio. Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Welcome back.
I saw you using the cheat sheet on the calendar just then.
When I look over there, yeah. It's until it becomes afternoon. I don't recall what day of the month it is, but by the afternoon I've woken up.
Same. We'll get there together.
Yeah. So welcome. When was the last time we had you? We haven't had you since we've been here.
Yeah. So I think we had put out with my band Sunset Electric. We had put out an album last November, and it was a little bit before that came out because we had a couple singles for you to play. So
yeah,
it must have been early last November, maybe October. So over a year.
Yeah.
Long enough.
And the band is still going, right? The
band's still going. We have a couple shows coming up. I'm sure I'll blab about that as the day goes on. But we're having a good time. But I've had all these songs collecting for a while, and I decided to put out this solo record that I'm here to talk about. Obviously, that was the title track. If we didn't say that, A Bright Future.
Yeah. I listened to the whole album. You sent us the whole thing. I love it. I love. The whole thing is just great.
I appreciate that.
You said, so this is a collection of songs that you've been accumulating for a while now?
Yeah, this is, I've been telling myself I was going to do a solo acoustic record for a while because I've written a lot and there's a lot of songs that don't fit what the band does. So
okay.
But there's 15 songs on this, which is obviously too many, about 5 too many. But basically it's broken into 3 groups of 5 here, and there's the last 5 songs, which I just see as extra, are acoustic versions of songs we've already put out.
Okay.
Songs the band did on the last record, or one's a single we've done since. One's a song I did with my old band in like 2019. But
okay.
And then there's 5 songs that are very old. Some I wrote when I was a teenager, which is a lifetime ago. And so there's 5 very old songs, 5 new songs, and 5 songs that are re-released acoustic versions. So I was like, let's just stick them all together and put them out there. So It's not the most cohesive unit, but I think it's I enjoy it. I like to have that they came to life, and I can be like, okay, I don't have to. You have this one, on the back of my mind, like I want to do something with that song someday.
Right. In terms of recording these, who else is on these tracks with you, or is it all you? Did you do this all yourself?
I did all the recording, but I had a bunch of friends join me on this. The Sunset Electric tracks, the 4 of the tracks at the end, I had my bass player from the band, Dan Smiles, Morno on the bass guitar. My buddy Justin Fife helped with a bunch of these. Justin McInnes also. They're both in the band with me. And then I had help from my friend Cassidy. That song we just played, she did some backup vocals on.
Okay.
And she's on 2 other songs on the album. I met her this past year, and I heard her. We were at the same show, and I heard her sing, and I asked her to come feature on some songs, and she did, and I was very glad. It ended up working out really well.
Is she in a band, or is she?
She isn't. She actually does music therapy, I believe.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's very cool. I'm a little jealous. It sounds like a fun thing to be doing, but
yeah.
And then my friend Will Hart on one of the tracks that we'll probably play later, Steamtown, played some harmonica for us. So anyways, I had a bunch of people on this, and Snowcone, my partner, did the album artwork. For those who didn't see the picture, it's kind of a newspaper front with the title A Bright Future, and a reflection of an eye with an atomic explosion in the background. So if to set the cynical tone there.
Yeah, I really like the cover. I was curious about that. Yeah. That's really cool. How is your approach different to recording these than with the band?
Well, I set out with the intent to just keep it so simple and just have my voice and a guitar, and I didn't let myself do that. And there's one track which ended up just being vocals and guitar, and the rest had a lot more. But I mixed a band's record also, and we recorded that ourselves. And I wanted to see how it would be to mix something without drums. So for me, the approach was thinking about the mix and that process of it, the post-production of how's this going to be different. And I tried a bunch of different things on different songs, and in the future, I'll look back and some will be like, okay, that really worked, and others will be like, I should never have done that.
Right. Oh, that's the inevitability of
it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Did you record these in a studio, or did you do it at home? Or
the studio being my apartment, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Much to my neighbor's chagrin, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, but you didn't have like a full drum set in there.
No, there wasn't that. Just a lot of takes of me being very loud.
Really, yeah. Oh, that's funny. You want to play? I'm dying to hear you play live.
Yeah.
Let me pull that. I'll pull that other. So because we're already live on the air, we can't do a proper soundtrack, but. If you want to strum that guitar a little bit, let me just make sure I can. Got some.
It's okay. I know from history that people like hearing guitar be strummed, so.
Yeah. That sounds nice. Yeah, that sounds really good in the headphones.
Sounds great in my headphones. I'm not wearing any if you're not listening. Not watching? I guess you wouldn't know that.
Right, yes. Radio is theater of the mind, so you could have actually just pretended you had headphones.
You want me to be full of deceit today? Is that what we're doing?
Well, it's early. We can be more honest in the afternoon. See, that's the thing.
It's true. I still have morning voice. We'll have some gravel here.
Oh, that can be a good thing. That can be a good thing. What are you going to play for us?
So this song is called Dive, and it's actually from this album and anything I've released, probably the oldest song I have, because I wrote it as a very angsty teenager, I think. I was probably 16 or 17 when I wrote this, but I always liked the song, and it's it kind of my experience with Catholicism and breaking away from that.
Oh, interesting. So, I was raised Catholic, and I think a lot of people can. I haven't even heard you play it yet, but I think a lot of people can probably relate. You said, excuse me.
You're going to make it.
I'm not sick, but I was sick, and like this cough just lingers forever.
Oh, it likes to do that.
Yes. But this is the first song you wrote?
Not the first song I wrote. No.
Okay.
Just of the songs I've released, it's probably the oldest.
Oh, I got you.
Including the songs I released back in like 2017.
Okay.
Very, very old. I have notebooks and notebooks full of songs, but this is the oldest one I probably recorded. So
Okay, cool.
You'll hear the angst.
Yeah. All right, I look forward to this. So if you're just joining us, Quincy Lord is here with us live in studio, and he's going to play. What's the name of it?
Dive.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Lead me home in the dark. I will find a way to start. Forgive my sins and make me one. Refute everything that I've done. While you're drowning in your light, you wear a veil to mask your spite. You say that I should know my place. Well, scars run down my face. How could you believe it's true that God sent me to challenge you? Well, that's what you say I am. You say that I am. Build me up from ground to sky. Break my wings, I'll learn to fly. Don't you ever wonder why they built mountains out of lies, just to dive. Let the wind take you in. Oh, dive. Through the blessings and the sins, find a shadow in your mind. Call him friend, tell no lies. Then just dive. Don't ask why. Adorn your neck with guilt and pain. Hear the laughter and the rain. Pray for the unholy one. not the one that end is gone. As children learn to walk, you teach them how to talk. All the words not to say, and prayers I'll never pray. Take the bread and drink the wine. Sit still, memorize your lines. No, I told you that I'm done. Never meant to hurt anyone. Build me up from ground to sky. Break my wings, I'll learn to fly. Don't you ever wonder why they build mountains out of lies, just to dive, dive, dive. Let the water take you in. Oh, dive, dive, dive. Through the blessings and the sins. Tell the shadow in your mind you can't accept his lies. So you just dive, dive, dive. Well, dive, 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 dive. Well, dive, 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 dive.
I love it. I love it. Quincy Raymond is, I'm sorry, Quincy Lord.
How dare you?
I slipped there. Is here with us live in studio. You know why that happened? Because I tagged you on Facebook with the picture I just shared out. But no, what a great song. I had a feeling I would find that relatable and enjoy that. Does I just out of curiosity,
Sure.
obviously, so with that song, you were raised, I assume, in a Catholic family.
I was.
How do they? Does anyone in your family, have they ever said anything about? Have they heard that song and said anything about it? Or
They have. Well, what I used to hear from, because as an angsty teenager, I did sing that up in my bedroom, and my father would hear me going, dive, 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 and he'd be like, "Are you saying die, die, die? Like,
Oh.
what is that song you kept singing?"
yeah,
The comments I've had from my family since releasing it have mostly just been that it sounds angsty, and they aren't wrong.
okay, good.
I haven't been confronted in any such way. I get along with my family. We're on good terms, so gotta poke the bear a little at holidays and such.
Right. No one's threatened to have an official papal excommunication or anything.
Not quite yet. I can't say I'm too concerned about that.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Understood.
But yeah, that one's it was a lot, but it was a lifetime ago also.
Yeah.
Everyone's experience is different there, but I was like, someone might relate to this, and hopefully it's a good song for someone who's still in that.
Yeah. No, it's very, very catchy. I like that a lot. Quincy Lord is here with us, and we're talking about the new album. Where does the you talked about the artwork, but what about the title itself, A Bright Future?
It's just the that's just I don't know where it came to me. I've
Really?
just been working on lyrics for the song A Bright Future, which I don't believe ever says that, but
Yeah.
at some point I was thinking about what the title should be and looking at the track list and the other names, like, all right, what would be a good title? And as that song was originally called Faster, Faster, which is something I repeat
Yeah.
a lot throughout the song, but it just had the right kind of cynicism to me. Once we found a picture, I had the idea for that that name to come out. And that song itself, by the way, the title track, A Bright Future, I wrote that because my partner's one of her favorite genres or types of song is really upbeat songs about the world ending.
Yeah.
So like We Will Become Silhouettes by the Shins, It's the End of the World as We Know It by R.E.M., obviously.
Yep.
Songs like that. And she was getting ready for work one day, and it must have been a weekend because I was home, and I was just following her around going, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And just making up words I heard, and you're like, I actually kind of like that. Let me see if I can turn that into something.
Yeah. Oh, That's cool.
The goal was to write an upbeat song about, world ending,
Right,
nuclear
right.
fallout.
Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah, I was trying to think of some more examples of. It seems like there are quite a few. Yeah, you mentioned the end of the world as we know it. REM. What else is? Oh, one that nobody ever thinks of is. Do you know the song "Wake Me Up on Judgment Day" by Steve Winwood?
I don't.
Yeah, no one remembers that one, but
You did.
But except me. Yeah.
Steve Winwood would be very glad right now.
Yes. He's still alive, right? Steve Winwood.
As far as I know.
I think he's still.
I haven't
with us.
talked to him in a while.
Yeah. Are there other themes, or is there a theme? I probably not to the album, because you mentioned that they've kind of come from different times.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah,
It's all over the place. It's no rhyme or reason throughout.
But it is cohesive because, like I said, I listened to the whole thing, and I listened to everything at once. I didn't, it's not like I listened to some and then listened to
Right.
more later. So to me, it seemed really cohesive.
Well, despite when they were written, at the very least, they were, for the most part, they were recorded or at least mixed at the same time.
Yeah.
A couple of the songs that did start recording in 2018, 2019, it was just like, I'm not redoing this. I'm just going to keep those files. And
Yeah.
I sound the same, I'm sure. It's going to be fine.
Right.
But no, it's not really a theme. I mean, With a Bright Future was just the reason that was like the strongest feeling is why I guess I kept that as the title for the album. Just, there's a lot of anxieties. I think Monday is going to be an anxious day for a lot of people. If you have no idea what's going on in politics, you can figure it out. But
Yeah.
which well, there is that. But just a lot of terrible things happening in the world at all times, and general consciousness of that is enough to weigh on someone, I think, and gotta keep living life as in the world we are in,
Yes. Hope for the best. Oh boy. Yeah.
Sorry, I started your political wheel turning here.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to do politics on the show, and then we took that element out of the.
I didn't know you took it out, honestly.
Out of the WMNH version of the show. Now I only do that online. But but I am.
You're gonna make it. Matt needs a little drink.
I think
of water.
that's what's causing my cough is the sense of dread and doom I feel. But anyway, well, I do need a gulp of water.
That's right. We're just gonna play a little waiting music while.
That's right. Oh, I like that. That's nice. It helps bring my stress level down too. It's very peppy. You could make a song about the end of the world out of that.
Sure could.
But you could just make it about Monday. Although it is Martin Luther King Day too, Monday. So that's positive.
There you go. There's a.
It's weird though that these two things are converging on the same day.
Yeah, they don't seem to go together.
No, they really do not. They certainly do not.
Yeah.
But now
That's the least we can say about it.
yeah, exactly. Now with the band, so with Sunset Electric,
I know them.
yes. So are you, while you were recording this album, did the band keep going, or did you guys take a break while you were doing this?
I don't know. The band kept going. I did this very slowly over this past year. There was like weeks of focus and weeks I didn't touch it at all, and that's some of that was just writing songs. But no, we've been playing. We have a couple shows coming up. We're going to be at a Huskies Pub in Worcester on the 8th of February, and we're around. But we have been working on a new album also. We're in the writing stages, but we're almost done writing the next record. And
Excellent.
which, sometimes I would start a song intending it to be for my solo thing, and I was like, no, the band will like this one. And,
Yeah.
just bringing songs into them and seeing what sticks and what they vibe with. So,
Yeah.
But no, we've still been going. We have a great time playing and practicing, and yeah, it's a blast. I always look forward to playing with the band. I like playing the solo shows too, obviously. It's a whole different experience. I can play soft stuff. I can get more lyrical, but the energy is great when the band's playing and people are clapping and singing along, and we're full of antics and jumping around and messing with each other. It's always fun.
Yeah. Now with the solo shows, do you do like really long sets? Do you do like multi-hour?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I do a lot of breweries. Today I'm playing at Seven Saws Brewing in Holden, Mass.
Excellent.
One of my favorite spots, but I've been playing there a very long time.
Yeah, like how long? Like
before COVID, probably like 2018, I want to say I
Oh,
started,
okay.
which might be around when they opened. I lived in Leominster at the time, so it was a lot closer.
Yeah.
So it made sense that I found them and was going there. But yeah, I've been going there. I was there every Sunday as a duo with one of my bandmates for a good while. But anyways, I'll be there. But yeah, it's like a 3-hour set when I'm playing at a brewery, which, I like to play my originals, do a lot, and people are very receptive to that.
yeah, good.
But I also, play covers and make people happy.
Sure,
The best
sure.
thing is when you play a cover of a song but that's not popular, and people come, I really like that original of yours. And I'm like,
Yes.
well, you picked the one that wasn't mine, but I understand. I love it too.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny when that happens because we've had a lot of guests over the years who they'll do covers, but they'll do something obscure,
Mm-hmm.
and then people don't even know.
Yeah, it's just associated with them forever.
Yeah, I was in a band where we years ago, a long time ago, I was in a band called My Life Crisis, and we did a Kiss cover, but we did a song called Hate, which is from their most obscure album that only the most diehard Kiss fans even know about. And it sounded so much like everything else, like all our originals, that, nobody knew.
What did you do in the band?
I was a bass player.
How'd you like it? Do you still play?
I haven't picked up a bass in a long time. Yeah, but I used to be. I was pretty active. At one point, I was in 3 different bands at once, and we were all
Nice.
doing a lot of shows. And but I never started a family because obviously you can't do that if you have kids. So I avoided that. But yeah, now I'm just too busy with other things, so I haven't played in a long time. But sometimes I miss it, and then I remember all the work that goes into it, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't miss it that much.
It's a labor of love, I think they'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. But the nice thing about what you're doing when you do it solo acoustic, of course, that opens up a lot of different places you can play, and like you have no shortage of opportunity,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure, as far as where you play.
Yeah, you can. One person can fit in wherever.
Exactly.
Flip side, if you're having a bad day for your voice or you're just all over the place, you have no one to blame. Like, oh no, the drummer was hammered that day. Like, you can't blame the drummer when it's just you. Like, no, that was just me not being perfect. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
It's been known to happen.
Yes. If you're just joining us, Casey Lord, Casey, what am I doing? Quincy Lord.
Matt's having a day.
I am. I'm thinking about Monday.
I'm gonna write it down for you next time.
Yes. I'm thinking about Monday, and I'm distracted. Nothing too terrible. Well, at least not the first day. Nothing terrible will happen, I'm sure.
The next day, I think there's some terrible plans,
The
but
ne-
we should probably.
The next day, yeah, but we'll enjoy the holiday. The next
Right.
day will be terrible. But do you want to play another live one for us?
Yeah, why not?
Dying to hear another one. Let me get that other mic back up there. That guitar sounds nice.
Sure, I'm going to play you. This was one of the songs I actually had released already with Sunset Electric, but I released it as an acoustic version on this album because it's a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure I didn't play it last semester. It's called The Inn.
Okay.
No, we played the recording last time. That's it.
Oh, okay.
But I want to play it, so we're going to.
Awesome.
And I don't know. I guess it's about feeling lost. It's fun. Oh my, you're a sight for my sore eyes. Lead your footprints from the dark. Come sit by the porch lights. You were in a dark place. We've all given to desire. With a blind leading the blind, and you're preaching to the choir. And I said, oh, tell me where to go. Where can I lay my bones? Where can I lay my bones? I said, oh, should I go to the road? Where can I lay my bones? Where can I lay my bones? My own night. Oh my, I see you're not aching soul. Throw your ashes to the wind, losing all control. I've been searching for a home, some place to call my own, all my home. Oh, but they chained me to this road. Where can I lay my bones? Where can I lay my... And I say, oh, tell me where to go. Where can I lay my bones? Where can I lay my bones? I said, oh, shall I call to the road? Where can I lay my bones? Where can I lay my bones? My own life. All night. Where can I lay my...
Oh, that is cool. I really like that. Yeah,
What do you think?
that sounded great. If you're just joining us, we have Quincy Lord here with us live in studio, playing some tracks live. And of course, we're featuring songs from his new album, A Bright Future. And refresh my memory, is it out now or is it coming out?
It is out now. It came out on January 1st. Felt appropriate.
Yeah, excellent. So it's on all the streaming platforms.
It
I
is on
presume?
all the streaming platforms, as far as I know. We had a little issue with Apple, but it's live there now too. So for those who were asking me about it,
Oh, what was the problem with Apple? I'm always curious about this type of thing.
I have no idea. It was just from the distributor. It's just like delivery to iTunes and Apple failed. It said, and I emailed them like 6 times, and they got back to me last night, being like, "Oh, it's fixed now." I'm like, "Well, thanks."
Oh, okay, good.
Only took them a couple of weeks. It could be worse. They're busy.
DistroKid? Is that who you use? Or?
CD Baby in this
CD
case.
Baby.
I used to use DistroKid, but it was didn't end up being worth it.
Yeah, I've heard that from quite a few people.
Well, it depends. If you're someone that I have friends who just like, they'll have an idea and they'll just knock out some recording, especially if it's like house music or whatever. And
Yeah.
just something like that where they're or techno or whatever, and they'll just upload a song at a time, and
Yeah.
having a subscription, which is how DistroKid works, and
Yeah.
you just upload all you want as opposed to per release, then it's worth it for those people. But
Yeah.
the trouble is, if you ever stop paying them, they take your music down, or you have to give them $50 per release, which is a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Are you doing physical CDs as well, or?
I am. I think I have some with me.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's it's interesting how that's changed over the years because when I first started interviewing bands, and it was a long time ago. And just to give you an idea of how long ago it was, when I first started, this was before I was at WMNH. Like guests wouldn't even. I should have turned that mic down. There we go. Before I was at WMNH, instead of emailing me files before people were really comfortable with that, people would give me a CD. And the move was very often, and this was typical, the CD wouldn't even be in a case. It would be on a CDR, and they would write on it with Sharpie what it was, and they would hand it to me on their finger. There's no case. And, and then, of course, eventually people got comfortable with just emailing tracks using Dropbox and services like that, Google Drive and whatnot. And then so that stopped, but also a lot of people just stopped, because there was this thought, well, everything's online now, and with Spotify and everything, there's no reason to make CDs. And so it seems like for a while, most of the guests I had, I would ask them, well, are you going to do a physical CD? And they'd look at me like I was nuts. But now over the past, 5 or 6 years, probably, everybody's doing CDs again, and some are even doing vinyl, which apparently is very expensive. But
There's definitely a vinyl resurgence for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think it was 2022 was the first year that vinyl actually outsold CDs.
I did hear that. Yeah. Well, the biggest issue here is anyone buying a new car for the past 5 years. I'm guessing the vast majority don't have CD players in them.
Yeah.
I bought a new car last year. I had to get rid of my old one, and I went from having a 6 CD changer that I had all my favorites in, and that one of those books that just has full of little CD sleeves.
Yep.
Have a couple hundred CDs in there, and if you're driving out in the boondocks and don't have service, didn't have to worry about having songs on my phone. I could just listen to, and I like listening to records start to bottom. A lot of people Don't like doing that. Don't have the attention for it. But I like to commit and see what's going on.
Yep.
But no, I've always liked doing CDs. It's good to just have like a little something.
Well, that's the thing. It's fun to listen, or it's fun to look at liner notes and the artwork and everything. That whole experience. I mean, that's when I was a kid, I always loved. If I was really into an artist, I would actually read everything that was in there, like who their manager was. Just everything. If I was really into somebody,
this guy played saxophone on that one song. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Because I could get obsessive. I still can, but but it's cool that it never went away. Even cassettes. I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was on Bandcamp.com and just looking for new artists in the area, and I found somebody who was making cassettes. And the first one that I found, I thought it was a fluke, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing this kind of retro thing." Is it like an indie pop band from Keene State College or something? And then I found more. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. But
it's definitely a retro hipster kind of thing. I mean, the only people I really usually see selling cassettes are like folk punk / crust punk bands and very DIY and indie people. I don't see many 8-tracks anymore.
No 8-tracks. Yeah.
my bandmate, and I'm in another band called Pants the Band. That's largely the same members, but all in different roles.
Oh, okay.
As a Sunset, but our keyboardist Justin McInnes is the singer in Pants, and it's all his songs. It's whole different vibe. Anyways, he has the means to record 8-track.
Really?
And he's dead set on our next recording, just releasing a couple like that, just to say we could.
That's fun. Wow.
I do remember seeing Cheap Trick like 10 years ago, and they had just as a gag released an 8-track of their new record at the time.
Really? Oh, that's wild.
Just so that they could say they have the number 1 8-track in the world.
Yeah.
Which, I guess so. Also the only, but yeah.
Yeah. I was in a band called The Jinx. This was like 20 years ago, and we had a running joke in the band that we were going to release like a single. And of course, but if we did that today, it would kind of be almost normal. People would be like, "Oh, that's cool, the retro thing."
Yeah, and then be like, how do we use it?
Right, exactly.
8-tracks also have the dumb thing where they like flip over partway through, and sometimes in the middle of a song if they plan it poorly.
Yeah.
Or the track list will be in a different order than like on a CD or vinyl, a different order than they intended, just so it fits.
Yeah.
And like that's not okay.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see how the technologies change and how some things never go away. A lot of people have this impression that vinyl went away and then it came back, but it never actually went away.
No.
I mean, even
it got cheap is what happened, and then it got expensive again.
Yeah, exactly. But even at its lowest ebb, all the major labels were still releasing, limited edition vinyl or whatnot. But
it was always like a cool thing that bands did. It's just very expensive, so it's often inaccessible to smaller bands.
Yeah, and I'm convinced there's no statistical data to prove this, but I'm sure that most people, probably the vast majority of people who buy vinyl, don't even have a record player, don't have anything to put it on. They just buy it because, if you're really a fan, I'm talking about if you're buying like brand new vinyl, not if you're going to, if you're going to a record store and flipping through and buying used, old vinyl, obviously you have something to play it on, probably, unless you're looking for something rare just to have it. But I think most people who buy new vinyl, they probably don't have anything to play it on. They just, if they're a fan of an artist,
right?
It's just cool to have it.
It's a collectible. A lot of people hang them on the walls.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They do a lot of, I don't know what to call it, but instead of just a plain black record, it'll be like a cool splattered thing, or have all different colors in there and whatever process they go through. But to make it pretty to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
The only time I really buy a new one is some of my favorite bands that are smaller. I go and see them live, and I like to support them and buy their merch. So that's when I'll buy one, and I'll throw it on. But in reality, I'll play it once or twice, or at home on a rainy day or something once in a while. But it's there's not much reason for me to put on vinyl. I have an apartment. I don't have a great sound setup for it. It's not like I'm blasting it through my favorite speakers or anything. So it's like let's hear my worst speakers with the highest fidelity recording I could have, and medium, and see how that goes.
Yeah. We don't even have, Jenny and I don't even have a CD player at home. We have one here, but I think the only one who ever uses it to the best of my knowledge. I don't know if you know Rob Azevedo. He hosts a show here called Granite State of Mind Fridays at 6.
I haven't met him, but I've watched I've had some friends go on his show before.
Okay, yeah, and he also owns Pembroke City Limits, which everybody knows. Yeah. So Rob actually will bring in CDs, and he. So I know this. I know it works, but I've never used it. But people give us CDs, and and it's nice to have them and whatnot. But but we have nothing at home to actually play them on. But it's nice to have them. I was curious. This occurred to me as you were playing that song. That was called Bones?
The Inn.
Oh, The Inn.
With 2 N's. At least 2 N's. You can use more if you want.
Where did I get Bones from?
I do say bones a lot in a song.
That's why. Okay. Do you say the N's in the song at all?
I say the Inn a couple of times.
Okay.
But once it's with 1 N, once it's with 2 N's. So
right. So it's different.
There is a total of 3 N's across the N's, but
I gotcha. Now, I was curious, what goes into your decision when you write a song, whether it's something you should keep for yourself or something maybe to use for Sunset Electric? Like, do you kind of have some criteria in your mind, or is it just a vibe thing?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes largely that last bit, sometimes I do go about writing a song and I have it with the band in mind, and I'll write it and, think about what they're probably going to come up with for their parts or how they'll react. But
yeah,
what I've been doing... I'll backtrack a little. So on the record we put out last year, Graffiti Hearts, the majority of those songs I had written ahead of time, some like years prior. So a lot of that was me bringing completed songs to the band and then, making some small adjustments. But sometimes I was a bit of a jerk about this needs to stay like it is. And
yeah.
So since, that album was put out, everything I've done with the band... I've tried to bring them the songs before they're, completed. All right, here's a verse and a chorus. Here's, how far I got on day one of writing, like with a spark, and then I'll bring it into practice and be like, what do you guys think of this? See if it sticks. See if they vibe with it, and if it doesn't, that's all I need to know. And other times it's like a softer, gentler song, and it's clearly not going to be the right vibe for them. So
yeah.
Some mix of the two, but it's usually apparent when I start writing it if it will be something they'll like or not.
Yeah. Now, do you have? Obviously, so you went. What is it? 15 tracks on this?
Album? A few too many. Yeah, 15.
I don't.
5 are re-released, so I'll call it like I see it as like a grouping of 10. That's
okay.
Like the album and then extras.
Yeah. Do you have even more that you recorded that you decided to leave out or maybe use on a future release? Or?
I have many more that I have, another 20 songs I considered that I were old songs that I considered putting on this, but we'll see. There's another Problems with Catholicism song that I was like, those would go well together. I'm like, maybe I'll spread it out and just make sure that notion stays, something to talk about at holidays.
Was it hard to kind of, because you have so many songs, was it hard to kind of pare it down and were those hard decisions?
Well, so it was less that and more, I wanted this to be a quick thing.
Yeah.
It did not end up being a quick thing because I couldn't. I kept being like, oh, well, this song I half wrote, maybe I could just finish that and put it on. Like, I'm not going to, the band, it doesn't fit the band. Maybe I'll just, and then I just, because I was doing it alone, there was no one to tell me no.
Yeah.
Or stop, or you have enough songs, or you don't need to record 16 layers on that song. I'm like, yeah, but I want to play the banjo. Who's going to stop me? Me? No.
Right.
I want to play the banjo. I want to play the mandolin. I'm going to do them.
Yeah, yeah. So you play both, there's both banjo and mandolin, that's all you?
Not as well as, I played all of that on the album. I mean, each is only on one song.
Okay.
But, I do play those. I mean, I think my cousin Josiah put it that there's a genre he'd call it of guitar players who pick up a banjo.
Yeah.
And that's very much what I am. I'm not I don't do the claw hammer or the proper things. Mandolin, I'm probably closer to doing it properly because it's the same motions as far as the pick goes. Just different tuning and such. But I like to dabble. I'm definitely better at guitar than those, but I get to play guitar out, and every now and then I'll get the notion to like, oh, if I practiced mandolin, maybe I'll bring it to my show today and do some songs on mandolin. But I'm always like, I'll wait till I'm doing a duo thing at some point. And mess around with it then. But I like the excuse to play with different instruments and just,
I've never even picked up a mandolin. Is it?
they're not heavy. You could do it.
I hope so. I don't know. The way I've been coughing, I don't know. I might not have the strength. Is it drastically different in terms of? I mean, I assume if you're a guitar player, you're ahead of the game, right? But is it like how challenging is it to pick up not to pick up a mandolin, but to play a mandolin?
Semantics.
Yeah.
Well, I think from going from guitar to mandolin, the easiest part is the fact that your strumming hand is
Yeah.
very familiar. So
Yeah.
it's getting used to tiny frets that you have to
Yeah.
crunch your fingers on, and also just retraining your brain because a guitar is tuned in fourths mostly, and mandolins, violins, whatever, they're all tuned in fifths.
Yeah.
So you just had to be like, oh yeah, the note's not where I think it's going to be, and just learn the shapes and patterns and your scales, and
Yeah. Interesting.
then you're fine.
How many strings on a mandolin?
8.
There's
well,
8.
It's 4, but they're doubled like a 12-string guitar would be.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the banjo? I've heard people say that banjo isn't as difficult to learn as one might think, but then again, all the people I've heard say that are really good at playing the banjo. So,
not being a proficient banjo player, I'll put it here. You can, coming as a guitar player especially, you can come and you can make decent sounds on a banjo, and you can play it and make noise. A lot of it's tuned, much like a guitar.
okay.
Except with a very high string on the wrong side, which you get used to. But
Yeah.
if you're playing banjo like a banjo player would, like a bluegrass player or traditional player would, I think that requires a high-level skill. I think, bluegrass players are some of the most talented musicians there are.
I agree, yeah.
You just have a folk instrument, you just shred on it. There's no drums to guide you. You all just have to lock in together, and,
Yeah.
they go crazy. So I think that's a high level, in my mind, is a high level of talent. I'm always impressed by good banjo players. My friend Ross plays the banjo very well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always.
But yeah, it's always fun to see someone playing. You're just like, wow, there's like.
Yeah. Yeah,
just-
I'm always impressed by that. Yeah, absolutely. Or even just being able to finger pick, just generally. I mean, because I'm a bass player and I play with a pick most of the time, even playing bass.
You don't have to tell anyone that.
Yeah, everyone.
It's okay. I use it.
Everyone already knows.
Nah.
Hey, Paul McCartney does it. So
I use a pick on the bass too. I've
Yeah.
played bass in the bands before, and on this record, I played a lot of bass, obviously. But
Yeah.
I use a pick. It's easier.
yeah.
There was one track I went to and used my fingers because I wanted it to be an upright bass, but I didn't have an upright bass.
Oh.
I was too impatient to ask someone else to play it or to go and borrow one and get used to it. I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna roll my tone knobs back and use my fingers, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go. That's something I've never done either. I've never played an upright bass.
Bucket list, Matt. Bucket list.
I don't know. It just looks so awkward to me.
Yeah, that one's a little harder to pick up,
Yeah.
just physically.
Yeah, it's heavy because it's big. Interesting. So all that. So you do all the guitar and the mandolin and the banjo on the album, and
For the most part, I did have Justin Fife, who's my dear bandmate. He on the Sunset Electric songs, I did have him come in and do acoustic versions of his parts.
Okay.
I was like, you already know this. Let's do the thing.
yeah,
But yeah, I like being in my tower song and just recording all the little bits, and I could use a little thing here. I record a lot more tracks than I use. I'm like, maybe I did too much here. Maybe I need to
right.
calm down a little.
And is the only other vocalist Cassidy? Is she the only other
No,
vocalist?
Justin Fife also.
Oh,
Also sang on that. I think it's just the two of them. Oh no, Justin McInnes also did a few vocals. I had a lot on the back of the album and on Bandcamp. It's very specific about who did what on
yeah.
what song, but a lot of the songs are just me.
All these songs on the album, are these all songs that you play live actively, or?
Just about. There's there's one song that I haven't done live yet, which is called "So It Goes," and it's I wrote. Is this one on?
Oh, I can turn it back up. Yeah, absolutely.
Just because it's, I wrote the song originally intending it to be for the band because I just had this fun it was just like a bass riff I had like.
I like that.
Whatever. And I was like, oh, that's like a cool groovy thing. I was like, and I was like messing around on the drums, and I was like, all right, this could be a cool thing, but I just never had that next part that would make sense with the band, and I picked it up one day and, just started singing the next section. And but anyways, it's just, I guess I just need to practice it. Like, it's a little bit of a throwaway song, but I like listening to the recording. It makes me happy. But
yeah.
I try to keep moving, and like it has this whole like kind of melancholy feel to it as it goes, and it's one of my many songs about mental health and just being a mess in general. But but that's the only one I haven't really done live, which I could probably practice and get there. But I've just never had this isn't the one I want to show off really necessarily.
Yeah.
Like I like it for me, but.
Right. No, I like that. I do like that riff. It's got a nice groove to it.
Yeah.
Well, the time goes quickly. We are already approaching the top of the hour, and I want to make sure we get one more studio track in.
Sure. But
before we do that, so what do people need to know about where to keep up with everything that you're doing and the band too, Sunset Electric?
Yeah, sure. So all my social media is under Quincy Lord Music. Quincy Lord Music. Quincy Lord was my name, in case you missed that.
Yes.
Sunset Electric Band is where you can find all the band stuff. I post the most on Facebook because I resent social media in general and can't commit to too many of them. And that's the one that lets me make events. But you can follow us there. I'm going to be you were talking to Eleanor earlier.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to be playing at Terminus on Tuesday for their whole shindig that's going on.
Yeah. Jenny and I will be there for that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. So I'll be playing a lot of the album live and more awake then. So that will be a good time. Next week, is it? No, in 2 weeks we're going to be on WMFO with Tufts Radio with the band.
On the Town with Mikey D?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, we went on there in like 2018 or 19 or something, so it's been a good while, and Joel just made us sound so good. We had these out-of-tune drums, and he made it all sound great. Tuesday at Terminus, today at Seven Saws in Holden, and the next band show is going to be February 8th at Husky's Pub, our favorite spot in Worcester.
Okay. Very cool. And we'll end with Steamtown, I guess. Should we?
Do we have time for me to say a quick thing about it? Or go
ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
So just I'll be quick. Quick story with Steamtown. This is one of the old songs I wrote a long time ago. Once upon a time, it was me and I was driving up and down the East. I kind of ran away and was driving up and down the East Coast with a couple of friends, sleeping in my 1996 Pontiac Grand Am. And anyways, it was written as a letter from me at the time to this girl I cared about because I kind of ran away and I was like, hey, I miss you. I wish you wanted to come with us. She didn't. And just knowing, it was kind of saying like, I miss you and I wish you were here, but also I'm going to go do what I want. So it's kind of me being a jerk with it. It seems a little sweet. And at the beginning of the song, it says, Dear Simba, because it was written as a letter to her.
Okay.
So, a very long time ago. Simba's a dear friend, whom Eleanor might have mentioned. She helps out.
I was going to say that name came up earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Such a small world.
Yeah, Simba's how they wrote me into going and playing Tuesday.
I gotcha. All right, very cool. Well, thank you so much, Quincy Lord. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We will leave you with this. This is called Steamtown from the new album, A Bright Future.